Your toddler can't fully explain it yet. They can't put into words when something inside them hurts. But here's what most parents miss. Your toddler is registering everything you do. Every reaction, every tone, every small moment you'd never think twice about. And those ordinary moments are quietly shaping who your child becomes. I'm not talking about abuse. I'm not talking about neglect in any obvious way. I'm talking about 10 completely normal things that loving, caring parents do every single day. Things that quietly hurt a toddler's feelings in ways they can't tell you. And the effects aren't just emotional, they're neurological, they're developmental. Stay with me because number 4 is something almost every parent does without thinking, and the research behind it genuinely surprised me. By the time we reach number 7, you'll never see an ordinary moment with your child the same way again. This isn't about guilt. Once you understand this, you can change it. And that changes everything. Let's start with number 1. Toddlers are resilient. People say it constantly, and in some ways it's true. But here's what that phrase gets dangerously wrong. Toddlers are resilient when they have steady emotional support underneath them. Take that away, and the resilience starts cracking earlier than you'd think. This is about your toddler's feelings, the ones hiding behind every tantrum and every quiet turn away. And here's the good news. Once you see what's happening under the surface, you can respond differently tonight. The first thing on this list is so common, so culturally accepted, most parents never question it. And you probably did it today. In much of the West, the reflex is independence. Your toddler struggles, melts down, pushes back, and something in you says, let them work it out, don't reinforce it, teach them to cope. It comes from love, it comes from wanting a strong, capable child. But in Japan, parents lean on a very different instinct. They call it Mimamoru. It means to watch over patiently without rushing in to fix or correct. Not ignoring, not neglecting. Watching close enough to step in the second your child truly needs you. The difference sounds small. To a toddler's nervous system, it's everything. And it changes what number 1 really means. Number 1, ignoring the cry. Not coldly, not on purpose. I mean the kind of waiting you've been told is good for them. Let them fuss, don't come running. Teach a little independence. Or you're just exhausted and you think they'll settle on their own. But here's the surprising part. To a toddler's brain, waiting is not neutral. When your child cries and no one comes, their body doesn't sit there calmly. Their stress hormone, cortisol, spikes fast. And repeated cortisol spikes without a calming response from you actually shape the architecture of a developing brain. The regions handling emotional regulation, trust, even memory, all of it gets touched. Dr. Alan Shore, one of the world's leading neuropsychologists, spent decades on this. His work shows the emotional back and forth between parent and child isn't just bonding, it's literally wiring the brain. Respond consistently and the nervous system learns something simple. The world is safe. Help comes. I matter. This is where Mimamoru gets misread. Mimamoru is not walking away. Picture your toddler melting down in the cereal aisle. The Japanese instinct isn't to ignore it, and it isn't to snap. It's to stay close, calm, present, letting them feel it while you hold the space. And here's another version most parents miss. Your toddler turns away from an eager relative, looks down, starts to fuss. That's not rudeness. That's a boundary. Toddlers look away to say, this is too much for me right now. When we override that, when we push past the turning away, they quietly learn their no doesn't count. Now, one delayed response won't rewire a brain. Life happens. But the pattern matters enormously. And this leads to something even more surprising. Number 2, telling them they're fine. Your toddler is upset. Really upset. Maybe you took something out of their hands. Maybe they can't reach the toy they wanted. And your response, completely natural, completely instinctive, is you're okay, you're fine. Here's why that simple phrase is more complicated than it sounds. Toddlers can't self-regulate their emotions yet. That ability lives in the prefrontal cortex, and it isn't fully built until the mid-20s. What your child has instead is you. Japan has a word for this quiet leaning in. Amae. It means the deep, healthy dependence a child places on someone they trust. Amae is your toddler borrowing your calm nervous system to steady their own. When you stay regulated beside a screaming 2-year-old, you're not spoiling them. You're the scaffold their brain uses to climb back down. But when we minimize it, you're fine, stop crying. Something else happens. The emotional brain is lit up and no co-regulation is coming. The distress has nowhere to go. And here's what most parents don't realize. Over time, that gap between what your child feels and what they're told to feel becomes one of the earliest seeds of anxiety and shaky self-trust. Study after study points to the same thing. Not abuse, not neglect. Just chronic misattunement, missing what the child actually feels, is one of the strongest predictors of emotional struggles later. And here's the relief in it. You don't have to fix the feeling. You just have to see it. Name it. Oh, you're so frustrated right now. That's the whole intervention. But that's not even the strangest part. Number 3, your tone when you're stressed. This one is so subtle most parents never catch it. You've had a brutal day, 3 hours of sleep and cold coffee. You pick your toddler up and say something perfectly normal. Okay, I'm here. But your voice is tight. There's an edge to it. Here's the thing. Toddlers barely hear the words. They read the music underneath them. Researchers call it vocal prosody, the rhythm and pitch and emotional texture of your voice. In Japan, there's a phrase for this sensitivity. Kuki wo yomu, reading the air. Your toddler is reading the air in the room before they can read a single word. Researchers at the University of Oregon found that infants showed real stress responses in heart rate and cortisol when they overheard adults arguing. Even while asleep, not consciously aware. And their bodies still reacted. So a tense tone, even wrapped in loving words, tells your child one thing. The person I depend on isn't okay. So maybe I'm not safe. And it gets sharper with your face. In the famous still face experiments by Dr. Edward Tronick, mothers went suddenly blank expressionless. Within seconds, the babies unraveled, trying everything to bring their mother back. Now think about scrolling your phone at the dinner table. Your face goes still. Your responsiveness drops. To your toddler who reads your air constantly, that blank screen-lit face triggers the same quiet alarm. This isn't about phones being evil. It's about what your face means to a child still learning whether the world is safe. And the science behind why is going to stay with you. So what do you actually do tonight? Not theory. 4 small things free starting today. First, the breath. Before you react to the next tantrum, take 1 slow breath. 1 breath shifts your nervous system just enough that your child feels the change before you say a word. That's Mimamoru in a single inhale, present, calm, unhurried. Second, name it instead of fixing it. When your toddler falls apart in the grocery store, drop to their level and say you really wanted that and now you're sad. You're not agreeing to buy it. You're letting them borrow your calm. That's Amae working in real time. Third, build a goodbye ritual. Don't sneak out the door at daycare because someone told you it avoids the tears. To a toddler, vanishing without warning teaches them people disappear, so stay on guard. Give them the same 3-second goodbye every morning. A phrase, a wave, a kiss. The crying at a real goodbye isn't damage, it's release. Fourth, touch them for no reason, not just when they cry. A hand on the back while they play. A brush of the cheek as you pass. Each tiny touch whispers the same thing. You're safe. You're seen. You're not alone. None of this costs money. None of it needs an app. Give it 3 weeks. Watch who your child starts to become. So go back to the beginning. That toddler who can't fully explain what hurts. Now you know they never needed you to be perfect. They needed Mimamoru, someone watching close, ready to step in. They needed Amae, a calm nervous system to borrow. They needed you reading the air kuki wo yomu, softening your tone before you reached for them. Your child doesn't need a flawless parent. The research is clear on this. Winnicott called it the good enough parent. The one who misses then notices the miss and comes back. The disconnection isn't what shapes your child. The repair is. The return. The I'm here now. I see you. So the next time your toddler looks at you, really looks at you, know they're not just watching. They're reading you, trusting you, building themselves around you, and you are enough. If this gave you one new way to respond, tomorrow share it with a parent who needs it. And subscribe, because the next one goes even deeper into how your toddler reads your emotions before you even know you're having them. I'll see you there.